everyone, this is Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures, and I'm here for my live on Facebook, Wednesday's chat and craft time, and also I'm recording on a different device for my YouTube and for my website. So the video will be in 3 different places, no excuse, for you to watch. And if you unfortunately can't watch live right now, when you watch on replay, say hello, where you're from, what you're doing, whether you like to craft yourself or just like to watch, and if you would be so gracious enough to sprinkle what I am doing here to spread the word and tell everyone that you know all about what I'm getting up to, how messy I'm getting, and what the end result is, and if you enjoyed it, as I need to get as much exposure as I can get to just forward my business and keep on having a fun time making these crafts and painting furniture and building Julie's Everything Treasures. Anyway, back to today. The snow on the ground, as the caption says above at the top there, snow on the ground, and it's February. So February is one of those months where you are just done with winter, but it is still winter. But fortunately, when you're decorating or if you're making your own crafts, whether it's for your own home or if you wish to sell them, this is the time of year to start thinking about spring. How you're going to have your house in the springtime, what you're going to make, if you're going to buy anything, or if you want to just get something ready and make some crafts and sell them yourself like I do. So, if you are not someone that's crafty, you can also come on by on Saturdays at noon to my open house, and if you're in the area, obviously, in Chilliwack, BC, Canada, on the west coast of Canada, and you can come by and pick up any items, gifts, or whatever you want, home decor, piece of furniture for your own home. And if you are crafty, then I have got a craft to you today. This is part 1 of my spring. I'm going to do a spring display, and this is part 1. Over the next couple of weeks I'm going to do some lives, some videos, a blog, and a few other doing a few other little things, as I'm going to do a display for, basically it's spring with a hint of Easter. I don't do all out in your face Easter here to sell, but I do Easter at home, so you'll see that too. So I hope you enjoy what I'm going to make today, and as I say, this is part 1, so we're going to get started on that. And it also is a continuation a little bit from last week. We started using the crackle medium, and we're going to be using that again today, so I can get a little bit more in detail of how to do things, and hopefully you'll get more confident in using the mediums and you'll be able to do them yourselves. So I'm going to bring you down, and let's get going on today's craft. Now, as you know, I usually drop you as I bring you down, but hopefully I won't drop you today. So fingers crossed, come on down. Get everything organised. When you've got 2 devices, you need to kind of get them both organised and also make sure that they're not going to bump into each other. So as I say, when you pop on, say hello, where you're from, and if you're from a different area to me, let me know what your weather's like. Are you ready for the spring to come? Are you wishing it was closer, or do you already have it popping through? Anybody got any tulips in the garden yet? So what I'm going to make is a couple of, this one's finished, these candle holders. So this is what I'm going to be making, and I'm going to be doing 2 tall ones and 2 short ones of the same shape. So, and 2 white and 2 of this kind of beigey colour. So that's what we're going to be making today, and hope you enjoy that. This is what we're going to be trying to create. So what we need for our supplies is, I went to Home Depot and got this spindle. I don't know if it's a spindle or leg, maybe it's, but this is what I got. I got this size and I got the smaller size. If you have a Lowe's close by to you, hi Sharon, how are you doing today? If you have a Lowe's close by to your home, I believe they have more selection. I don't have a Lowe's in my town, but I do have one in my next town, and I didn't bother to go get it. I just went to Home Depot and picked up 4 of these. As I say, 2 this size and 2 a little bit smaller. And I already had a bundle of these terracotta little plates that you put under plants. I got them from a thrift store, very cheap, but these are actually very cheap to pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's anyway as well. So it's just the little ones. So what we're going to do first is we have to remove this peg. Now, last time I made these candlestick holders, this was easy too. I just twisted them off and it was very easy. This time I had a lot of trouble, and I don't know if it's because I have slight arthritis in my fingers or whether they were just a little harder this time, and I found it difficult. But just get some pliers and grab hold the best you can and then just turn the actual spindle. And I've already loosened this just so that I'm not showing you struggling trying to get this one out, but that's the way to do it, and you've already then taken it off. You don't need that, and I don't need the pliers anymore. So we have this. Now what we're going to do next is going to stick on top and underneath. If you can see, we're going to stick these on. Now, as usual, we are using, and I don't have much left, as you can see, this is pretty pitiful, I've got to pick up some more, the E6000 glue, and this takes a while overnight to literally hold good, so make sure you let it do that. So I'm going to stick this on, I'm going to put it to one side and just let it just hold overnight, and I'll finish this particular one off tomorrow maybe. So let's get the glue going. So I'm going to do the bottom first and just put as much glue as I can squeeze out of here if I can. It's a little hard and tricky to squeeze when there's not much left. Let me just squeeze this on here, holding it. I'm not sure I can get much more out of this one actually. We'll see. Nope, I think I'm going to have to get some more of this glue. Let's see if I can get some out of this one. Might be some more left in this one. If not, it's okay. Push in the glue, see if I can get a bit more out. Oh, there you go. Oh, that was hard work. So I have some, as you can see, because I just squeezed, I couldn't do it in the camera, but I've got some on the bottom here, and I'm basically going to stick it right in the middle of the upside down, so it's upside down little plant plate. And then we're going to put some more glue on the top. I can squeeze enough out just to do the top. That would be really good. Oh yeah, plenty came out then. Just need to push it a little. Gotta get some more of that. And put this again on the middle. How you can tell it's the middle is you need to literally put it upside down, keep this in place, and just find the middle. And then that is stuck in place. Just going to move it to one side and let that set overnight is best. As I say, the E6000 glue, it takes a while to bond, but when it does, it bonds really good. So I'm just going to leave that, and I have one already stuck. So that's a good start here, and I already painted it too. So I stuck it together, left it overnight, and then I painted it, and I actually painted it the Weatherwood DIY paint. This is a chalk-based paint, and it's made from DIY paint, and I used the weathered wood. That's what I used on this one. So we are going to now do the next step, which is the crackle medium. So I pick up these little bottles, I get them from the dollar store. I don't use it very often, so I like to get the small one so it doesn't dry out, and basically this does a couple of different crafts. So it's a weathered wood crackle medium, and I like to get the weathered wood one because I find it works really good and it gives that wood look as it's crackling. If you want it to be a china or a glass or any other kind of crackle, you want to use a regular crackle, but on wood, or if you want to pretend and make it look like it's on wood, the weathered wood one is the best one to use. So that's what I'm going to use for this. And if I can just get a dish here to put some in, and a brush to put it on with. Let's see. This one's good. Get myself organized. Now, the small ones, as you can see, I'm going to do this kind of beigey color, and what it is, I believe I got this one from, where did I get it from? It might have been Walmart. So it's the Folk Art Home Decor, I think it's Walmart, and let's see, it's called Oatmeal. That's the colour I'm using, so that's what I'm going to be doing on this one. So I need some brush for the paint, and an old brush for putting the medium on, because it's like a glue, it only lasts for so long and then you're going to have to throw the brush away. So squeeze some into your tray, and the thicker you put the medium on and the thicker you put your actual paint on, the more it will crack. The lighter you put it on, the small little amount, like this, spreading it out, it'll be smaller cracks. And with this, I want to do a rustic, very kind of aged looking candlestick. I'm literally wanting to put the medium all over. If you do it in all kinds of directions, you will find it will crack in all kinds of directions. So on top, I'm going to do that. I'm putting it, basically slapping it on, not too thick, but in kind of all different directions, because I don't want any rhyme or rhythm of any kind of how it cracks. And we'll just do this top part first. But when we do the sides, I want it to crack down, so we'll be doing it downwards, but on top it can go whichever way it wants to. And then get a different brush and fill it with some paint. Take the paint out of your way so you just see what I'm doing. And we're just going to put that over the top. Not pushing it around too much, just let it do its thing. Put it on lightly, but also making sure it covers how you want it to cover, because you're only doing one coat. There you go. And that will start to crack as soon as it starts getting dry. I also find that using a heat gun or a blow dryer to dry it gives a better crackle look with this medium. Other people don't. They say don't try and force it, leave it to naturally dry, but I find it doesn't crackle as much if you just leave it. It could be the cold weather here, and if you're in a warmer climate that might be a different result, but I find actually that it crackles better if I put a blow dryer on it. But we're going to keep doing all around here and just go all the way around the sides, doing section at a time. So basically I want a crackle going down here, so I'm going to pull it down and do a section down here at a time. So there's a section, so I'm going to go back over and put the paint over. So along the edge here, underneath, pulling it downwards because I want it to crackle downwards. Take your time with it. Even here today, I'm going to take my time with this because I do have it already done on the next stage, and I can show you that in a minute. But take your time on it, do a section at a time, and just keep going all the way around. Let's do a little bit more section. Seeing that I've got the crackle out, so just go over it, a little bit more crackle. Put it on lightly for a little bit of crackle, heavily if you want any areas that heavily crackled, and just keep going all the way around. If you had a plank of wood and you wanted that crackled, you would go that way. You would go horizontally because you want it to crackle that way. But because we've got this, it's tall, vertical, then I want it to crackle up and down. That's the reason I'm doing it this way. Alright, and got the crackle on, if you can see there, and let's put the paint on. I've already got paint on my hands already, so that's the usual for me. Make sure you get in all the creases too. And around the base. And I forgot to do actually up here, so just do crackle up here. When you put the crackle on, you don't want to put the paint on top of it wet, but you also don't want it dry. So wait for the crackle to just basically be tacky, you know, kind of a tacky, and then put the paint over the top. Now I'm going to go back over and do the rest of this later on, and you'll see it finished. But right now I am going to make a little bit of a noise. Sorry about the noise, but I want you to see basically what the blow dryer will do to help quicken the crackle. So I'm going to do that. that's enough of that noise. And I had noticed, you probably noticed before me, but because I was facing it to the cameras rather than in front of me, I had missed some. So let's put some paint on parts that I had actually missed. There's no good having gaps. There. Anyway, I will be finishing the other half later on, but can you see the cracking? That is coming already. Do you see that? So there we go, that's starting to work. And I have the taller one, I've already got to the stage of I put the base coat on, I put the crackle medium on, and this one I did white. So it's already crackled, as you can see, in parts. Different parts is crackled. And now we're going to go to the next step. So on this one that is finished, I put on in the creases some the black wax, and then on the lines vertically I put some aged wax, and then when that was dry over the whole thing I put white wax. That's how I finished this one, and I can show you that on the next stage if you wish. But on this one, because I want them to be kind of similar but not the same colour, I'm not going to put wax on this one. I'm going to try doing a glaze, and the usual glaze I use, I didn't have any left, so this is the first time I'm going to be using this product. It's from Home Depot. I haven't even opened it. I have no idea. I guess I should shake it a little. Very liquidy, so I don't know what it's going to be like, but it's called Aged Glaze, and it's Rust-Oleum, and it's it's supposed to make it look like antiqued. So I'm going to open it up and play with it and see if I like it. Who knows? Can always paint over stuff, right, when it dries and start again. So, well, it's kind of a browny colour, if you can see there. That's what it looks like on the lid. And I now need some kind of good brush for this. Let's see. Got to use this brush. Now I don't know if I'm going to need a dry cloth to wipe off the excess, or if I'm going to need a wet one like a baby wipe. So I'm going to get them both ready because I want it to look aged, but I don't want it brown. So I'm going to get myself organized, have both ready. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to be using, but basically I'm going to put it into the creases and then I'm going to pull down with the cloth. So you can see basically from here. So I'm going to start here and let's just see what happens. So I'm going to put it in the creases. Might be a little bit of a too thicker brush, I don't know. And then pull it down. Can you see what I'm doing? Because I want it all to be downwards, but I don't want it to be brown. So anywhere where I want it kind of highlighted, I'm just going to go back over with the baby wipe. What do you think of that? That's not bad. I don't mind that. It went on actually quite easily. Oh, I didn't pull down the top part, so get my fingers in and just pull down. I like that, but I'm going to just quickly go over a little more in just basically the shape, so it shows off the shape there. I quite like that, so I'm going to keep going. So put it on any parts that you want to be showing darkness. So here, put it in the crevice and put it coming up just a little and down just a little. And down here, going up just a little. Might need to put a little bit more on that one. And then use the cloth and just pull through, up and down. A little more. And I think I need the dry and the wet. So basically, I'm just going to go back over the parts that I want back to be white. There you go. And then just on the line again, just go over it. So yeah, quite like this product. Pull down, gonna do it again, going down a little bit further, and then get the dry cloth and pull. And if there's anywhere you don't want it to be, then just go over with a baby wipe. And there you go. Hi Nadine, how you doing? Back to the realm of everything, back to work now after your vacation. Your photos look like you had an amazing time. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm just gonna do some more of this. I like this product. This one, for me, is a winner. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to do a couple. Bring it down. And around and bring it up. So the edges. Then go back down over with the dry cloth and pull it with it. But you don't want to pull too much that it looks muddy. If you find anywhere that's a little too much, then go over with a baby wipe and just pull it back. And again, just go back in underneath here where it would be shaded, and in here. All the cracks. Down the lines, and here go up. And down. You're just following basically the lines. And go back over with the dry cloth. In the direction you want to go, and then back in with the baby wipe, giving the middle the white look again so it's not muddy. Yeah, kind of liking it. Let's go all the way around on this one. I'm almost all the way around, so it's not going to be too boring for you. So just going to go in the cracks in the top, pull it down, on the lines, and then underneath where it would be shadowed, down the lines again, and then in here in the crevices, and then up the lines. So it's going to be just the middle part will look like it's got light, and the rest will look like it's shadowed. Go back over with take your time on this. I might have rushed this side a little bit to do too much, so it's dried quickly before I got in to be able to pull it. So I'm going to go back in over and just give the baby white, just put it in the parts that I want to have that highlight of the white. So and then just lightly go back over the lines so they've got some definition, and then we're going to go around here and then up the lines and use the dry cloth to push it up and down. Pulling away any you don't need. And go back over with the baby wipe to just get some white for some highlight. Also, the baby wipe gets rid of any lines. You don't want it to have distinctive lines. Yeah, it's looking good. We're going to do the base now. So basically with the base, just go around the creases all the way around into the creases, and this you can just do it in a vertical kind of way and just pull it with the dry cloth. Just pull. Everything vertical because it's a tall candle. And then we can go back over parts we don't like or need to remove, or it's too heavy, as I say, with the baby wipe. Or if you've got like too perfect like lines, you don't want lines of where you have it and where you don't have it. You want it to blend a little. This is just to make it have an aged look, not make it look dirty. And now we're going to do the top. Again, in the creases, all the way around. Again, pull in the direction you want it to go. And then wipe away. And then I'm going to put a little on here on the top rim, very top rim. And this one I'm going to pull down randomly around. Don't want it perfect circle. You don't want it all to be down, and you don't want it all to be up. And also pull in. And then go check it, see what you like. Here, if you can see here, it's too thick. So I'm going to get the wet wipe and put my finger in and just smudge it away. Make it look more natural. Here is a little too thick. And then we're going to put some inside. So we're going to put it around the inside. And because it's round in here, we did it round, we need to go round basically. And then dry off the brush a little and go back around for a line, distinct line. And then go back in where you don't want it to be brown and muddy looking. Just go back in and rub away, erase the parts you don't like. I'm just going to put a little bit on the sides, just very faintly, a little bit random, and use the dry cloth just to pull it back off. A little tiny bit in the middle, and then we're a bit off again, because what you want it to do is basically go into just the parts of the crackle, and then rub it off. Go back in and just erase what you don't like. Take your time on it, and there you go. Do you see that? So it basically has an aged look. Just get this, put it away, got everything out here, and can play with it a little more. Go over it, check parts I like, parts I don't like, even leave it overnight and go and just look from a distance, see if you want to change any of it. But basically this one was the white one and this one was the oatmeal one, but now they look a little bit more as though they're supposed to go together, so we can put them display. And because I have two more, one that's sticking with the glue, waiting for that to glue, and the other one that we partly, let's see if it's dry, partly painted to get the crackle effect. I will have two tall ones, two shorter ones, and I'll be able to put them either ends of my fireplace. And what I was hoping to do, and I think they have them in Lowe's, I wanted to get 3 different heights. I wanted this one, a medium one, and a smaller one. But in Home Depot they didn't have that, but I believe in Lowe's they do have that. And I wanted to just do 3 for one side of a fireplace. I couldn't get it, so in the end I got the 2 different sizes, and I'm going to put them either side of the fireplace. But this is the start of basically doing the spring, Easter spring display, and each week I'll be doing different videos, different items, and at the end you'll be able to see the different displays, the spring display that my words today, wow. You'll be able to see the finished look of when I finished the whole thing and put it together. And I do have a vision of how I want the display to look, and this is the start, doing the candlesticks. Now we have a little bit of time, so I'm going to show you a technique that I also have learned, and I'm going to do it on this can. So basically this is just a regular, canned vegetables, baked beans. If you're English, you know baked beans. It's a regular can. Took the label off, cleaned it up, and I put some white paint on. And then when I went back around with a rag, and oh, I'm on low power mode. Great, isn't that a good start? I used a wet rag and just pulled off some of the white paint. Then I had a little bit of words. This is a transfer. I had this left over from a transfer I did on something else. I can't remember what it was. The words don't even make any sense. But I just put them on just for a little bit of a look. And I thought I would try and show you a technique of, because this is metal and it's a can, of just little tiny bits of rust area. So let's see if we can do that. Now what I need is, again, the weathered wood. Yes, weathered wood paint. Hi Carol, how are you doing? And I also have the Summer Crush. They're both DIY paints. This one's an orangey colour. And then I have the Weathered Wood, that is a brown colour. And let's see if I've got some paintbrushes here. Oh, I have a few different ones. Those are too long. That one's a good one. And that one's a good one. And I also need, oh yeah, I need one more. And what we're going to do is add, and you're going to think I'm crazy, but cinnamon. So I'm going to show you how to make a little tiny bit of a rust effect. So first off, you need to put on a little bit. There's a join here in the can, and I find that would be a part that would maybe rust, and also the top and the bottom would rust. So I'm going to put a little bit along the bottom here and just going up the can a little, just up at the join. I'm just going to show you this part for now. So that's the Weathered Wood part. I'm just going to quickly dry that. Sorry about the noise. Let it just be quick here. Doesn't need to be perfectly dry. On top, I'm going to put a little bit, very dry brush on this. Right on top, a little bit of the orange, what's it called? Summer Crush. Can you see that? Now when I'm doing big parts of rust looking, I add a little green in too, because you do get a little green in rust sometimes. But when I'm doing the smaller things like this, I don't put the green in. Okay, and then we're going to quickly dry again. And I'm going to go back over with the Weathered Wood a second time. Just basically almost sponging it, but with a brush. And I'm doing it a couple of layers because it gives it a little bit of depth for the rust. And then this time I'm going to go back over while it's still wet. Oh, that's a little too much. Dry brush it off. And a little bit, because I did it a little bit too much. Just go over. And just to keep layering the colours. Now while it's still wet, I'm going to just open up the cinnamon, and it's going to smell nice. Now, I wish I had had a cinnamon tea instead of, I think I got a berry tea right there. And just, I'm going to sprinkle it with my fingers, just because of the awkwardness of showing you. Just going to sprinkle a little, and then top it off. Put the rest back in, clean up my fingers. There you go. Does that look a little rusty? And you just go around different parts and rub it on with your fingers, make it. And there's your rust. And that's how I get the rust effect. I did a whole trunk actually. The trunk I did in white, but I did all the metal parts that were showing I added rust to, and I put a little green in, and I did that not long ago. But that's how I do a rust effect. And I could do another bit up here and down. Let's try that, shall we? Again, just put the Weathered Wood and then a little clumpy, the actual texture of the orange right now. That's why it's going on quite thick. And then a little bit more of the layer of the weathered wood. And the last layer. A little bit more. And then some cinnamon. Knock it off. Use your fingers to rub in. And you got the rusted look. What do you think? Does that look rusty? You see that? There you go. So that's two different techniques we did this week. We did the crackle medium again to make, if I can, I've got a mess here. I've got paint everywhere. I've got cinnamon everywhere. It smells so good. And different kinds of paintbrushes that we've used. So I've got lots of cleanup to do today. But we did the crackle medium on these. And I started to show you a rust effect. So what I'm going to finish doing on this, I might do it in a video tomorrow, we'll see. I'm going to put some more distress on here, some more of the rust around, and then clear coat it. And I think what I'm going to do, I'll move these out the way. Around the top, I don't know if I'm going to use, I don't know if this one's too thick. I'm going to put some rope around the top. No, it'll be nice. Rope around the top, maybe around a couple of times. And then I'm going to put some dried lavender in it when I get hold of some. And that is just a neat little thing that you could put on a table, on a mantle, a little display. As I say, I'm going to rust it up some more, distress it a little bit more, and then wrap some rope around the top. And it's very simple, and I'll just put some lavender in, dried lavender, and that'll be nice. So that's just an extra bonus little thing to show you. This one's, well, it could go in my spring little section. I might do, I don't know, but just figured I'd show you two things today, as I knew because I had some time, I could maybe show you a little bit more. Anyway, it's coming to the end of my Wednesday chat and craft time, and if you're watching on replay, thank you for watching. And if you could sprinkle and share to your friends, family, that would be great. And for everyone that's watching right now, thanks for taking the time to watch. It's very important for me that I have you watching, and I enjoy that very much. So thanks for watching. And this is Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures, and I will be back again on Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time. So I'm on the west coast here of Canada. My Saturday at 11:30 a.m, not noon, 11:30 a.m. I'll do a live, show you all the things that I've made, and that's for sale. And then at noon I'll be opening my doors for anyone that's local to me to come on in and do an open house so that they can come and buy. So I will see you again on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. and hopefully you'll be able to come back and see what's going on, and I can show you a tour of my place again, see what's available. Well, my words today, I'm rambling, sorry, rambling on today. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a great night. Thank you.